Modern mother gaming, man. It never fails to disappoint. Anyway, I hope you guys are all having a great day, at least a better day than I'm having once I found out the news we're gonna talk about today. So for those of you who don't know, EA revealed a Skate reboot back in 2020. And it is always online, man. Typical EA and their scummy practices. So I was scrolling Twitter today when I came across this post here by Pirate Nation. EA's Skate reboot won't be playable offline, its developer has confirmed. So we're gonna go over an article by Kotaku talking about this. It's actually a decent article by Kotaku. I know that's like shocking to hear, but let's go ahead and get into it. Skate reboot will require an internet connection, still set to launch this year. EA also talked more about microtransactions and how the skateboarding game will evolve. I mean, an always online connection sounds like devolving to me. Ah yes, the evolution of gaming, not being able to play games if I don't have an internet connection. Thanks EA, that's just what we were asking for. Why couldn't you make it like the other Skate games where you can play them offline? Well, fuck you, that's why. EA's upcoming Skate reboot is still planned to launch later this year in early access, but if you were hoping the skateboarding sequel would include some kind of offline mode, well, sorry brah. In 2020, after fans had begged EA for years and years, the company confirmed it was making a new Skate game. In 2022, early in development footage of the Skate reboot leaked online. A few months later, EA officially released footage of what it called a pre-alpha build of the new Skate game. We also learned in 2022 that this new Skate game isn't called Skate 4, and that it will be a live service free-to-play game. And now, EA has confirmed what most people suspected and feared: the new Skate won't have an offline mode. Of course it won't, because how can they sell you Reddit looking skins if you're not connected to the internet? But yeah, the main reason they're probably doing this is so that you don't mod in the skins they want to sell to you. They also might be forcing an internet connection so they can harvest data, who knows. Either way, nobody likes this. We wanted a classic style Skate game like the old ones on the 360. Ones you could play offline, ones you can still play today on a 360 emulator. Not this free-to-play live service slop. On April 24th, EA posted a lengthy blog about Skate. This post is the first installment in a series the company calls The Grind, which will feature regular updates from EA about the state of the game ahead of its launch. In the first, The Grind post, EA answered some frequently asked questions, including whether the game will have an offline mode. The simple answer, no, said EA. The game and city are designed to be a living, breathing, massively multiplayer skateboarding sandbox that is always online and always evolving. Like, don't get me wrong, I have nothing against free-to-play live service games existing. That's not the problem here. The problem I have here is we already had a formula that we all loved with the Skate games of just buying the game and playing it and being able to play it offline. And you change that to chase trends like the rest of the industry is doing. Like, I guess you could make the argument, well, at least it's free, at least you don't have to pay for it, but this isn't what Skate fans wanted. EA knew damn well when we were requesting another Skate game, we meant a classic-style Skate game. Instead, we're gonna get some live service slop where the skins are only unlocked by paying. I would gladly pay $60 for a Skate game. EA claims that over time the game will evolve, promising live events, both big and small changes to the city of San Vansterdam. And the publisher says the only way it can deliver on this vision of a skateboarding world is to require an internet connection at all times. Yeah, that's just not true at all. There are tons of games out there that can do updates that like overhaul the game and you can still play them offline. I guess it's not too shocking that a free-to-play live service game will require you to always be online, but I do think it's odd that a franchise that has always supported offline play is going to offer zero options for players who might have wonky internet connections. It also means that once EA decides the game is no longer profitable and shuts down the servers, the game becomes dead and unplayable, which will probably be a couple weeks. But yeah, I can see a similar situation to The Crew happening, especially considering we're talking about EA here. For those of you who don't know, a game called The Crew, it's from Ubisoft, had its servers shut down, and now the game is unplayable. I hope they at least make it playable offline once they decide to finally shut down the servers for good, but who knows. Elsewhere in the blog post, EA and the Skate reboot devs said they were committed to a 2025 release, but they also reminded players that this initial version of the game won't be finished. I mean, that's just something you love to hear, man. Yeah, this product's gonna be shit, by the way. Hopefully you all play it. This is another problem with live service free-to-play games, is they usually suck when they first come out, and they're extremely broken and unfinished. Like, sure, they're free, but I'd rather a good game that I actually pay for, rather than shit that I can get for free. We don't consider the early access launch the finished version of Skate, and neither should you, explained EA. But the skateboarding experience will be great, and you'll have tons to do with your friends in San Vensterdam. We can't wait to share more details about what we have planned both for day one of early access and in the months that follow. Skate is set to arrive on consoles and PC sometime in 2025. It will support crossplay and cross-progression. Man, RIP Skate, dude. Skate 3 was a fantastic game, and it was the last one that I'm gonna, consider a real Skate game. This shit is a B-Team spin-off at best. This is the Dark Souls 2 of the Skate series. And the worst part about all of this is fanboys are, you guessed it, defending this. IGN says EA's highly anticipated Skate revival will require an always-on internet connection, here's why. Cap'n Yappin says every damn game does these days, can we stop with these stupid posts? Yeah, that's just not true. When I bought the last two physical games that I bought, those being Tears of the Kingdom and the Demon's Souls remake, I didn't have to have internet for either of those games. For Tears of the Kingdom, I popped it in and played it immediately. For Demon's Souls, I had to copy the contents of the disc over to my PlayStation. And I love the argument of other games are doing shitty practices, so we gotta let this company do shitty practices too. That's what got us into this situation in the first place. Ben C says imagine not having the internet in 2025. I mean, some places in the world don't, and some people don't have reliable connections. Also, what about people who want to play on handheld PCs or laptops? Also, not having internet, that's not the point. Point is, the older games didn't require internet, and this one does. So the game, in that regard, is an objective downgrade. You can see another guy here defending it. It's 2025. If you don't have internet access in America, you don't need a game system anyways. Yeah, these people are all just missing the point, man. Yeah, I don't really have much else to say. This is SLOP. It's probably gonna suck. And I am extremely disappointed that Skate is going down this road instead of sticking with the classic formula. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike, and I'm out. Peace.